Howdy, BATMONTH continues with a more affordable option if you want to get yourself a Batmobile or a couple of Batmobiles. These are from Jada Toys. I've reviewed a couple of Jada Diecast vehicles in the past on this channel. They come in a couple of different scales. There's 132, which is these. And when I think of 132 scale, I'll always think of the original Autobots from 1984. The Autobot cars are roughly 132 scale. Then they have 124th scale. That's a little bit bigger. That's generally the Kenner Mask scale. And it goes up from there. But these are incredibly affordable. They're about 10 bucks Canadian at a Walmart. I took a look on Big Bad Toy Store, and they've got some of the 124th scale Batmobiles. The only one at the moment they have up for pre-order is the Michael Keaton Batmobile on there. They've got these in other scales though. So today I'm going to be taking a look at the Tim Burton 1989 Batmobile, which is one of my favorite Batmobile cars. West is best. It's Adam West's 66 Batmobile. And then the awesome 90s Batman animated series Batmobile from that show too. They come with some nice backdrops to them if you just want to take them out of the box but leave them still just like a model. They're die-cast model. They're screwed in to the base right here. You can see underneath there's a piece of plastic holding in there, and they do come with, looks like, little metal die-cast figure. I don't know if the scale is quite right there. I'm not sure if this guy is maybe a little oversized. They're not posable, so they can't fit inside the cars anyway. That's close anyway. Nice backdrop on the animated Batmobile. Beautiful background artwork from the animated series. And then the show just makes me smile. Very campy 60s style background, and there is the bright night and the Batmobile. So it's pretty cool to have the big new McFarlane Batmobile and now a little one. These are less than the cost of most action figures today. I mean, even a simple 5 points of articulation action figure like those Kenner Retro Marvel figures, or even a Masters of the Universe Origins figure, is more than one of these, and you actually get metal on these. They feel a lot like those 84 and 85 Autobots, die-cast metal, and they take up so little space. I'm gonna take them out of here right now and give you 360 of each one of them, but they take up so little space that they're just perfect for sitting on your desk at work to give you a little bit of a pop culture reprieve from whatever you might be working on there. And they're small enough to not really be all that distracting, so you can still focus on your work. These are rated ages 8 and up. I don't know if an 8-year-old should be playing around with a screwdriver. Mom or dad could probably do that, but it's barely screwed in there too. And here they are opened up. These are super cool. It's a really affordable way to get yourself a giant Batmobile collection and also not take up all that much space. So if you were to get 1/18th scale, G.I. Joe sized Batmobiles, that would cost you quite a bit, especially if they were die-cast like Hot Wheels, and take up a lot of room. But these are really tiny. I mean, they fit in the palm of your hand. And there's a lot more of these available too, especially if you wanted to just stick with this scale, the 132 scale Batmobiles. They've got the Ben Affleck Batmobile as well. I'm not sure if the Tumbler is available in this scale, or you could go one up into the 124th scale, so that takes up a little more space. It costs a little bit more, but you just, if you're a huge Batman fan, just line them all up, and basically got to look at it not just as cost but space too. What does a 1/18th scale vehicle take up? Like that much space? So in that much space you could have 3, so like 6, maybe 6 different versions of the Batmobile instead of a 1/18th scale of one of them. Really nice paint jobs on them. This one is got a great gloss on it, and it is die-cast metal, that cold rolled steel. Little turbine on the back. Oh, look at that, floppy. So you can actually, if you're butterfingers like me, you can drop it and not worry about breaking some of the more intricate parts. This has got a little bit of give to it. Check out the detail inside too. It's actually got a steering wheel and some console details. Not bad at all. Perfect paint application on the bat symbol on the door, and a little chrome on the wheels there, and the bat symbol. And these are, they're kind of soft, they're kind of rubbery tires. Even got some detail underneath as well. And a look at the Adam West 66 Batman figure. Hands on his hips, great pose. Got a little bit of a metallic sheen to him. I don't feel like he is quite as metallic as some of those G.I. Joe Nano figures are. And Marvel figures. Metallic undies on him. And he is metal as well. It's really too bad that these don't have drivers that fit. I just love having drivers for any type of car like this. It's something though. I mean, they could have easily just not included a Batman figure and just have the Batmobile itself. So even if he's just standing in front of it or beside it, about to go in, I think that adds a lot. And this is the animated series. Man, I love this car so much. I've never had anything from the animated series. No toys, no miniatures, models, nothing. This is my very first animated series thing that I bought. And also at Toys R Us, I just saw a new line of, I think it's the Adventure Continues animated figures. So I did pick up the Batman of that, and I'll be showing it off soon. But here's the animated series Batman. Very metallic again. I'd prefer just more realistic cartoon paint jobs on the little figures that Jada does. So he's pretty shiny, which for Batman, I just don't picture Batman being shiny and metallic. This doesn't have a glossy paint job. It's got a really nice matte finish. Kind of gunmetal look to it. Oh, check out the chrome on the hood. That's awesome. Nothing opens on them like on the larger scales, like the trunk or you can't pop the hood. So I love the elongated look of this. It almost looks like a limousine. And you can't get in there, but they do have something in there. You can see part of the console on there. I doubt there's any seats or anything like that in there. Same type of tires as the other Batmobile. And they spin great too. I mean, if you just want to use these to drive them around, they roll perfectly fine. That's something I take for granted, actually. Like in the old days, every single toy car rolled perfectly. It was never an issue. And sometimes these days, the levels are off and they're like wobbly, or one of the tires doesn't touch the ground properly. It's a real bummer. But these are perfect. Jada's always top notch for that type of stuff. And then, I would say this is my favorite Batmobile. And I love the Tumbler, but to me the Tumbler, I don't really consider it a Batmobile. It's the Tumbler. I never call the Tumbler a Batmobile or the Batmobile. So in terms of like officially branded Batmobiles, this is my favorite. It is just such a cool design. Got the turbine in the front. And you can actually see a seat in there. It's a two-seater. so you can't get in there either, but it's cool that they went to the effort of including some details in there, even if you can't get at them. There's like a window in the back there too. Just love the complete black color scheme of this thing with some very dark gray paint applications. Looks like 85 Snake Eyes. He's just all dark, and this is the best of the these three nano figures because it's just black again. There's actually no metallic paint used on this, so that's a good example of how good these can look if they don't have the metallic paint used. It doesn't even look metal. It is, but thanks to the paint job, it just looks more like a miniature. Really amazing paint precision in there too. Bat symbol looks great on him. And I'll give you a 360 of each one of them, starting with the 66 Batmobile. That glossy paint job is just awesome. When you get a big light hitting it, just lights right up, which is appropriate for this version of Batman since he was the fun, happy, bright Batman. And the Tim Burton Batmobile. And even though this is kind of a matte finish, it catches the light pretty nicely too. You can see it really lighting up there when the light hits it just right. So it's not like just a black shroud that will be invisible in the dark. If you just use like a little lamp or something, you'll be able to see it fairly well. The Batman figure looks a little bit glossier. He lights up a little bit better. And the animated series Batmobile, very similar paint job to the Tim Burton one. And man, that figure just kind of clashes with the Batmobile being metallic and so bright and shiny. I know that's what he looked like on the show. That was his color scheme, but in terms of this actual set, the figure just doesn't really go with the Batmobile as well as the other two figures go with the other two Batmobiles. And to close out, a couple of size comparisons. Mentioned earlier that the 84, 85 Autobots are roughly 1/32 scale, so here's how they all measure up. It's not bad. They actually kind of seem maybe just a bit bigger or bulkier, I guess, because of the transformations. It's pretty close, so I guess that is how big that Batmobile would be compared to a Lamborghini Countach and a Corvette. I always thought that the Michael Keaton Batmobile looked a lot like a Corvette, like a modified, elongated Corvette. So it's kind of cool to compare them side by side, and I think that's about the right scale too. So if you wanted to display some of your Transformers with these smaller Batmobiles, I think they go pretty well. So what's your favorite Batmobile? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment spot. Thanks for watching, and until next time.